guys, Jackson here of Concealer This. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to show you guys my everyday makeup that I would do if I am going out or just running around, whatever the case. You guys have seen my last two videos, which was my get to know me videos, and I will put the links down below so that you guys can see them and catch up with that, because a lot of you really liked it, liked the videos. So I'll put the links down below. But a lot of you were asking about the look that I was wearing, the makeup that I was wearing in the video, so I just wanted to show you exactly what I do. Now the look, as far as the foundation and everything is concerned, is what I do all the time. The only difference was the lip, and that is what you guys wanted to know the most about. So that is what this video is for. So if you want to see how I go from this to my everyday beat face, then keep on watching. Alright, so the first thing that I do always is I prime my face. So I'm going to be using Tarte Clear Slate Poreless 12-Hour Perfecting Primer, and I just like to apply it to my finger, and then I just apply it all over my face. So after that, then I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation. Now for my foundation, I actually mix two different types of foundation, which I told you guys about, but I use one of my favorite, which is Revlon Color Stay in the color Toast, and then MAC Cosmetics Match Master in 7.0. Now the finish for these two is like a semi-matte finish, which is the look that I'm going for today, and it gives me a little bit more coverage, so that's what I'm going to use today to show you guys how my skin looks once I apply this. So when I'm doing my foundation, I always use a beauty blender and a little bit of Fix Plus by MAC, and then I just, spray it and make sure that it is not saturated but just moistened. You don't want to oversaturate your beauty blender, because then it will make your foundation runny, or it'll take away from the opaqueness of your foundation. So I just like to use a little bit of Fix Plus and just go ahead and grab my foundation and just apply it on the face. Okay, so here's a little tip that I like to tell people. Like, for my skin, I have a lot of discoloration, like around my lip area, chin area, and like on the side from breakouts. So I'll apply a thin layer all over the face, but then I'll go back into those like kind of problem areas and I'll just apply more product there. I also like to put foundation over my lips, and this just preps my lips for my lipstick, which is going to be really important, because you want to make sure that like your lip color doesn't mix in with whatever lip color you don't want your natural lip color to mix in with whatever lipstick or gloss that you're applying. So just like get rid of the, like, erase the color by applying foundation to the lips. And they have like lip erasers and stuff like that, but I don't really find them necessary. Just because you could put a little bit of foundation on there, girl, and go. Okay. Alright, and then a lot of you have been asking too, like, what is this on the side of my face? It's my birthmark, y'all, okay? It's not a tattoo. It is my birthmark, but I never really talk about her. I mean, because she's been around forever, and, she don't need all that shine. She don't. Alright, so for concealer and to highlight underneath, my eyes and everything, I like to use MAC Cosmetics Pro Conceal and Correct Palette in medium. And what I like to do is I take a synthetic brush, and the importance of a synthetic brush is that it will help you to apply like a full even distribution of product to the face. So I'm actually going to take this lightest color here, which is a corrector, and it is Mid Peach. I like to use peach tones underneath my eyes because it just brightens it very nicely and gives me that highlighted look that I'm definitely going for. Okay, cool. So now that everything is nice and blended out, you can now see that I'm like starting to work with and replace like the planes of the face back together. So usually with foundation, it makes your face very one-dimensional, so it makes it really flat, which is why you need to go back and apply your highlighting and contouring. That's why it's so important. So now that I have my highlight going on and you can start to see my cheeks and everything again, I'm going to go in with my Pro Concealer in Medium Deep and contour. So I'm going to take this color right here, which is NW43. So again, just take that color with a synthetic brush. Again, the synthetic brush is going to make sure that you get an even distribution of color and a nice opaque layer of color, and then you can go ahead and blend it out. So where you see my highlight is I'm going to place my contour color right underneath there and just a line. Whoop. Alright, so now we have our highlight and our contour done, but now we need to go ahead and just set everything. So I know that Ben Nye banana powder is very popular on YouTube and very popular amongst us women, but I personally don't use that because I feel that for my skin undertone is a little bit too yellow. So what I actually take is by MAC, and this is set powder. But the color is peach and it's not yellow, it's a peachy tone. So, you know, I'm just gonna grab a sponge and set my under eye layer. And you can go down your nose. I don't know, sometimes I go down my nose, sometimes I don't. But I'm gonna do it today. And definitely get your forehead to ski. And then I'm going to take Mineralized Skin Finish in Natural. This color is called Deep. And then I'm just going to set my contour area. That's done, and I'm just gonna pop my brows on really fast. I'm actually gonna do a separate video for you guys and show you exactly how I do my brows because they have changed a lot since I did my first video, but not too much. But as you guys can see, I do foundation first and then I move on to brows. So let me just pop those on really quick and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have done my brows and I just used a little bit of brow gel from NYX. The color that I used was chocolate, just in case you guys were wondering. I do use NYX brow gel. This one is actually in brunette, but it's the chocolate one that I use. And then I just used a little bit of concealer on the highest points of my brow bone just to kind of clean up the brow a little bit. And then now I'm going to move on to eyes, which is going to be very simple. So let's just get right into that. Okay, so for time, I just did one eye. I'm going to show you guys how to do the other one. So the first color that I'm going to take is my transitional color, which is Soft Brown by MAC and a 224 brush. And I'm just going to go above my crease, like close to where the end of my highlight starts. And I'm actually going to carry it out, making almost like a V shape. So I'm carrying it all the way out and then all the way into by my nose so that there is no gaps. And because I'm dealing with like browns, I am going to apply a significant amount of product just because I want it to be like highly saturated. So even though it's a, what are you laughing at? So even though it's neutral colors, like I still want it to be noticeable. So after you've applied your transitional color, I'm going to darken my crease by using a color by MAC again, and this is their Pro Longwear color in Uninterrupted. Now this color is a weird kind of brown, but I really love it because it warms up any eye look. Well, not any eye look. When you're using browns, it warms it up very nicely. So I'm gonna take like a denser brush, which is kind of similar to a 117 brush, but this is by Morphe Cosmetics, and I'm just gonna go into the crease and keeping that same formation, but I'm not really gonna go all the way in. I'm gonna stop at right where my brow is, where the highest point of my brow bone is actually. Okay, so for my lid color, I'm going to take Smashbox Full Exposure Palette, and I'm actually going to mix these two colors together. This one is a matte and then this one is a shimmer, but I want the color to remain kind of neutral to my natural lid color, but I want to add a little bit of shimmer. So just place it right on top with a packing brush, and the more you apply, the more you'll be able to see it, but it's really not meant to overshadow the rest of the look, so I wouldn't apply a whole lot, just a little bit. Okay, so this part is completely optional, but you know, if you want to add liner, then just go ahead. I'm gonna apply a thin wing liner to my top, and then just a thin liner to my bottom lash, my waterline. So I'm using my favorite liner, which is Inglot number 77 and an angled brush. And what I like to do is I use the tail end of my brow and the end of my eye as a guide to where to apply the wing. If you do this, then chances are you'll increase your chances of your wings actually matching each other, which is something that I actually had to learn. One of my former co-workers taught me that because I was struggling with liner. Okay, and then I'm just gonna fill this part in. And then right where that gap is, just take the rest of the product that's on your brush and fill it in. Alright, so I'm going to apply the liner to my bottom waterline using the same angled brush and Inglot gel liner. Now I like to use Inglot gel liner underneath my waterline because it's really intense. But let me tell you guys something really quick. When you make your wing liner, make sure that you take, when you apply the liner underneath your waterline, connect it to your wing so that it looks like one wing. This is a little tidbit that I kind of had to learn, especially when doing clients' makeup. I noticed that they would be like, can you just connect these two? And I'll be like, what are you talking about? I never really paid attention to it, but now it's like a pet peeve of mine. If it's like not connected, I'm like, it is not complete, boo. It is not complete. Okay. All right, so I can't complete this look without using lashes. So I'm actually using a pair of lashes from the hair company called My Extensions, and I'm really excited about these because these lashes are 100% mink lashes, and they are cruelty-free lashes. They last up to, I believe they say 20 times on the website. They haven't quite launched them yet. I don't believe they'll be doing an official launching, but they gave me these to kind of try out first, and the name of this one is Baddie. I love these lashes. They're like not too long, but they give me enough drama where, you know, I look like I do have on lashes, but they're not a whole lot. They're not too much. Alright, so here I go again. I'm going to attempt to apply these lashes while y'all watching me. Oh god. Uh-oh, I might have did it. Okay. Next for blush, I'm going to use one of my favorites, which is Prism by MAC. Prism was my very first blush that I've ever purchased from MAC. I love this one because it's like a skin tone almost, but it has a little bit of pink to it. For highlighter, I'll be using my favorite one right now, which is Becca Cosmetics highlighter in the color Opal. And I'm gonna take a very, very soft brush and just apply this to the highest point of my cheekbone, just to wake that skin up a bit. I don't know, y'all, like, you mean to tell me that you do this every day? No. I actually don't really wear makeup on an everyday basis, honestly. Alright, so you can take a little bit of highlighter down the brim of the nose, but only in two particular areas. So take a little bit of that highlighter and just go right here, and then right at the tip of the nose. Ooh, that's too much. Ah. There we go. Alright. And then you can do the Cupid's bow too, if you so choose. Okay, okay. Finally, the lips. Okay, so you can go two ways with this look. So if you just want to keep it more on the natural side, then you can use like just a gloss and walk out the door. But if you want to up the ante for the fall, you can do a dark vamp lip, which is what I'm going to do. And the color that I am using is Transylvania by NYX Cosmetics, and this is their soft matte lip cream. You guys went crazy for this color. Everyone was asking me, like, what do you have on your lips? And I was like, I'm gonna make a video. So I have a little secret though with this. So I like to apply it just an even coat, but for some reason it's not as opaque as I would like it. It's like I need more like opaqueness. I really want to be able to see the color. So what I like to do is just take a little bit of the product and like dab it on my lips. And for this look, like for this particular product, it is a building process. So you're not gonna get that very vamp look on the first tryout. You have to keep building. Alright, so I'm gonna stop right there. So this is not the color that I would have originally used, but I cannot find Night Moth. So I'm just going to line my lips with Plum Lip Liner by MAC. And that is the final look if you just wanted to look just like that. But I'm going to darken it with a little bit more Transylvania, and I'm actually going to go in with a little bit of a black eyeliner, and I'll let you see the final look. Alright guys, so this is the final look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my first time doing a talk through, and let me know if you all would like to see more videos like this where I'm actually walking you through the steps. Yeah, so until then, I thank you guys so much for watching. Love you all. You already know that. I will see you all in my next video. Until then, peace